His charitable work is off the charts, spends time feeding the homeless, and takes care of so many people. He also studies film like Peyton Manning, and he's a quick learner. After winning the Heisman, Duncan blew scouts away at the Combine, jumped to the top of the draft. His individual workout was impressive as well. One scout told me he's never seen a quarterback with better accuracy on medium routes at this stage in his career. Nothing but good things to say about Duncan. Well, it's been the talk in the media all year long. Who's the better corner, Rodney May and Eric Kasher? Kasher played his entire career for the Longhorns at corner, but he might be better suited for safety. He's 6'4", 204 pounds. He has solid hands, he's aggressive, and usually solid in run support, too. Now, he does tend to be a little bit inconsistent. At the Senior All-Star game, he considered moving to safety, but he did start at quarter and had a pick six for a touchdown in the fourth. Great pick here for this team. With the right development, he could be a star. Dakota Bell is the Dash from Smash and Dash at UCLA. 5'11", 190 pounds, and hits the hole faster than anybody. He has great vision and is very valuable in the passing game, not only as a receiver, but also as a blocker. Now, he split time at halfback with Bull Griggs and still ran for over 1,200 yards. Kid's got great potential, and he's shown he can be a good teammate by taking a reduced role at UCLA. Todd McShay told me he attended Bell's pro day and was satisfied with what he saw. Good pick here, and who knows, maybe they'll draft another running back in a couple of rounds, and we can reunite these two guys. That's even if they want to play on the same team anymore. Following in the footsteps of players like Dwight Freeney and Terrell Suggs, Arizona Wildcat Willie Burns played with speed and quickness. 6'4", 261-pound junior was the Pac-14 leader in sacks, and he was a unanimous all-conference selection. He's very athletic, but does have issues. Todd McShay told me he struggles when facing bigger, stronger OTs that can push him around. Big decision for Willie headed into the draft is whether he played D-end or outside backer in the NFL. And here's the second half of that Smash and Dash duo, Bull Griggs, a kid who really lived up to his name. He'll run right at you and will throw you down. If you try to arm tackle him, it ain't going to happen. He's got good hands coming out of the backfield, reliable in that he rarely fumbles. Griggs led the team with just under 1,500 yards rushing, and with Dakota Bell, one of the best 1-2 combos in the history of the game. Bull told me he had 2 goals coming into the season: win a national title and get drafted today. Need a new goal, checklist complete. Well, if you're looking for a Kia Green's doppelganger, kids, that means identical twin, you'd see a picture of Steve Smith. Their games are similar, as is their frame, both 5'9", about 185 pounds. Of course, this was the first year of the new college playoff system, and Utah went into the first round against Texas as big dogs, and then Green took over. Finished the game with 6 grabs, 217 yards, returned both a kick and a punt for a score, and also went to the end zone on a 46-yard reverse. He can turn a routine play into a highlight in seconds. Nice selection. Well, Rodney May is interesting. He has bust potential written all over him. At the start of his college season, he was a 4th or 5th round pick at best, but a great junior year for the Sooners fueled his rise to the top of the draft. A lot of scouts say his great season was due to the fact he was able to play behind a great D-line that generated a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. He played really well at the Senior All-Star game, but to be fair, both of his picks were thrown right at him. He came to Indy and ran a 4.21 at the Combine, and suddenly there were talks about him being the next Champ Bailey or Darrelle Revis. Buyer beware. If it's too good to be true, it usually is. Well, former pro wrestler and current Idaho Vandals star defensive end Cooper Cosbert is one of my favorite draft stories, and here's why. He turned 19 and then joined a wrestling network after playing high school football in Dallas. He spent 3 years wrestling under the stage name Coop DeVille and left football behind until the league went bankrupt, and Cooper decided, you know what, money is important. He signed with Idaho, and the rest is history. Set every school sack record at Idaho, was named first-team All-WAC and Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Now, if you remember, Adam Schefter broke the story about Cosbert's wrestling career at the Combine, and it seems like teams fell in love with the story alone. They like the story, but will they love the player? And now, kids, time for the interesting tale of Danny Martins. He's lived his entire life in Indy and bravely battled through a social anxiety disorder. His parents ran the world-famous Rock Bottom House, a halfway house for recovering drug addicts. As a child, Danny struggled in social situations, partially due to his odd physical appearance, accentuated by large, bulbous eyes. As he grew older, Danny found company in a small cloth Dan Marino doll, and he was able to use his friendship with the doll version of the former NFL quarterback to summon the courage to try out for his high school football team as a junior. Danny excelled as a quarterback and went on to earn a scholarship to Butler. I'm a little shocked that Martins is being drafted at all, but I'm happy for him. And yes, I had the privilege of meeting Tiny D and staring deep into those large, bulbous eyes.